So when I became the coach, I was determined to make a team that would get everyone going crazy in the seats about how we're playing. So we started to actually put in the whole process of how you actually go about doing that. So
everyone watches the race, but only 10% of personnel actually go to the race, and a lot of things happen behind the scenes. In terms of race strategy, it's all about preparation.
It's sort of what I call it dynamic risk rehearsal. You know, it's a sort of ongoing thing. And you'll never talk about the thing that happens to you on that day. Statistically, it's super unlikely. But what happens over time is you start to build this mental database of things that might go wrong.
Being a fast jet pilot places you under such immense pressure, and an ability to deal with stress at work is really a skill which is directly transferable to the modern world.
For me, leadership isn't about, it's not about rank or status or position or being the director of this or the head of that. It's about your ability to take other people with you on a journey.
I think that the only thing that I've really noticed great teams to have in common, be it in sport or in business, is a clarity of purpose. In business, I always say that purpose maximization will always drive profit maximization.
Until you can get people to perform at their very best, you need to convince them or contain them that they're safe, that they're valued, that we care about them. And when you've got them in that place of being convinced that they're in a safe, caring environment, then you can start to explain how they can deliver their very best.
I started life as a runner, and very privileged to have broken world records and got to Olympic Games. And that in large part defined in a way who I was.
It's the same as any other job or profession. It simply requires to be fully present, clear, aware, and ready.
And I think also too, if you go back to your plan and you check it again and you make sure that actually what you have set out to achieve you can do with your strategy and your goals, that gives you a lot of reassurance.
And I never give up until it's physically been proven that I can't do it. That's when I will say, okay, we now know that that is impossible. Other than that, I'm not going to, I'm not going to stop to that.
So a lot of what I did in source handling, a big part of it was communication, like, receiving information, but being able to really ask those probing questions that's going to lead to that's going to clarify the answers and clarify the information that you're receiving. And being able to read verbal cues and know when somebody's lying, knowing that all of that stuff applies to business.
I was not stronger, fitter than anyone else out there, and yet I won more races in my my last 8 years of that career than most other people in the world in this sport, in rowing, because I found a way to work with people. And
for me now, failure is just an opportunity to grow and develop, and it's not always going to feel nice. I can't lie to you there. It's going to be uncomfortable, but when you push through and you get to the other side, it's like you're a butterfly and you become a new person, and we kind of keep going through that cycle.
But there are a few things that we can take from the Special Forces world that we can integrate into the business world that will smooth their synchronicity, smooth their teamwork, synergy, and also put simple processes in place that make sure they follow a process to success.
But in my event, which is the 400 metres individual medley, you normally only get one Olympic Games to really shine. So here was me, training 6 hours a day, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to do all my exams, making huge sacrifices socially, and not showing whether I was actually going to get to go to the Olympics.
We had to walk over that lot. The other guy, Charlie, on the left here, in the boat, one of his feet, all the skin fell off because of being soggy and had raw nerves. So for 180 miles on metal snowshoes, his language got very bad. He then developed hemorrhoids and it got worse. And then one day he fell over and he cracked his head open on a rock and his eyes filled up with blood and he started to whinge.
We launched a program called Forever Against Animal Testing, where we were able to collect 8 million signatures around the world and take it to the UN, the largest petition they've ever received, to get the UN to stop animal testing in every country around the world.
We needed to think a bit differently. We needed to make sure we were getting real creativity into the market, that we were being truly innovative and wanting to be on the leading edge of using technology, which of course is going to be the future of every business.
Just suck up as much advice as you can possibly get. You know, a young driver can learn as much by sitting in the engineering briefings or debriefings as they can driving the car in the circuit. So, you know, actually sort of going through the data with the drivers that are driving the car, because frankly, driving the car is just one part of the skills required. You know.
I knew that around the world somewhere, there's somebody in your event who's staying in bed. I'll one up against him.